Welcome back to the channel, The Daily Scoop. Today we're diving into a detailed and engaging breakdown of the video where Dr. Anthony Fauci answers Trevor Noah's questions about the coronavirus on the daily social distancing show. This script is designed as a clear and easy-to-follow explanation, keeping the paragraphs short and the flow natural while expanding the ideas so the full discussion feels complete and thorough. It does not repeat any copyrighted transcript, but instead offers a fresh review, style, narrative, analysis, and explanation. Let's get started. The video begins with Trevor Noah setting the stage for viewers who are trying to make sense of a rapidly changing situation. At the time, the pandemic was still new, and many people around the world were hungry for reliable information about how the virus spread, what precautions to take, and how serious the threat truly was. Dr. Fauci appears as the trusted voice of scientific expertise, and Trevor positions his questions to reflect what the public wanted to know. Trevor's tone is both casual and serious. He balances humor with genuine concern, which helps the audience stay engaged despite the heavy topic. He asks Dr. Fauci to break down complicated scientific explanations into language everyday people can easily understand. This dynamic makes the conversation feel accessible, and it remains one of the reasons the interview was widely praised. One of the first things Dr. Fauci discusses in the video is how the virus spreads. He emphasizes the importance of understanding respiratory transmission and why airborne droplets make physical distancing essential. His explanation is direct and calm, focusing on how small actions can significantly reduce the risk of infection. This reassurance was helpful for viewers who felt overwhelmed by uncertainty. Trevor asks why the virus seemed so confusing compared to seasonal illnesses. Dr. Fauci explains that because COVID-19 was new, scientists were still learning about it in real time. He points out that evolving information didn't mean experts were unreliable. Instead, it meant the scientific community was adapting as data improved. This segment helps remind viewers how science actually works and why advice can change as understanding grows. The conversation then shifts towards symptoms. Dr. Fauci clarifies that while fever and cough were common, the range of symptoms varied widely. Trevor expresses the confusion many people felt, noting how tricky it seemed to identify the virus. Dr. Fauci responds by stressing the need for widespread testing and early detection to prevent infected individuals from unknowingly spreading it. Another key part of the interview addresses how contagious the virus is compared to the flu. Dr. Fauci explains that COVID-19 spreads more easily and has a higher rate of severe outcomes. Trevor reacts with concern, mirroring the audience's reaction. This moment adds emotional weight to the discussion and highlights the seriousness of the pandemic. Trevor brings up the question of masks, which at the time was a major point of debate. Dr. Fauci provides context about global shortages and the need to reserve masks for healthcare workers. He also acknowledges that guidance could evolve depending on supply and updated research. This part of the conversation illustrates the difficulty of making recommendations under rapidly shifting conditions. Trevor also asks how long the world might have to deal with shutdowns and distancing measures. Dr. Fauci offers a realistic but hopeful perspective. He reflects on the need for a coordinated response, patience from the public, and the possibility that restrictions would ease once the curve flattened. He explains the concept of flattening the curve with practical examples that help viewers understand its importance. The discussion includes a look at personal behavior. Trevor laughs about people who stockpile items or ignore guidelines. Dr. Fauci responds by encouraging people to follow the recommendations without panicking. His calm demeanor and diplomatic tone are central to the interview's reassuring atmosphere. This approach helps viewers feel guided instead of scolded. Trevor asks whether younger people were truly at risk. Dr. Fauci clarifies that while older adults and individuals with underlying conditions were more vulnerable, young people were not immune. He emphasizes the danger of asymptomatic spread and the responsibility everyone shares in protecting others. This part of the interview played an important role in countering early misinformation about who could be affected. Dr. Foss also talks about potential long-term solutions. He touches on vaccine development, explaining its complexity and why it isn't as simple as many assume. Trevor listens carefully and asks questions that help break down the process. This gives viewers insight into why creating a vaccine requires multiple stages of testing. Trevor then shifts to global cooperation. Dr. Foss recognizes the importance of nations working together and sharing findings. He explains that pandemics do not respect borders and international collaboration is essential. This perspective is a reminder of how interconnected the world is during crises. Another important section of the interview revolves around misinformation. Trevor asks how people can know what information to trust. Dr. Foss stresses the value of relying on medical experts and official health organizations. He encourages viewers to be skeptical of unverified claims and to look for evidence-based guidance instead of rumors. As the conversation continues, Trevor touches on public reactions. He notes how people sometimes downplay the virus because they feel healthy or want life to continue normally. Dr. Foss responds by highlighting the moral responsibility to protect the community. He speaks about the power of small sacrifices and how collective action can save lives. Trevor's interviewing style makes the discussion feel relatable. He mixes curiosity with humor, but never in a way that undermines the seriousness of the topic. Dr. Foss adapts comfortably to this, offering clear explanations while maintaining empathy for people's fears and frustrations. The interview also covers the challenges faced by healthcare workers. Dr. Foss acknowledges their dedication and the pressure placed on hospitals. He expresses gratitude for frontline workers and emphasizes how public cooperation helps ease the burden on them. This message serves as a reminder of the ripple effect individual actions can have. Trevor asks about the timeline for returning to normal life. Dr. Foss answers cautiously, explaining that the virus's behavior would shape the timeline more than people's wishes. He encourages flexibility, patience, and continued vigilance. His focus is not on giving specific dates, but on helping viewers understand the conditions needed to safely lift restrictions. There is also a moment where Trevor asks about the risk of reinfection. Dr. Foss explains the early data and the uncertainties scientists were still exploring. He makes it clear that while there may be immunity after recovering, there wasn't enough evidence to draw firm conclusions yet. This honesty helps build trust in the information being shared. Throughout the interview, Dr. Foss consistently emphasizes the importance of collective responsibility. He explains that public health measures work best when everyone participates. His message reminds viewers that no single person's actions exist in isolation, especially during a pandemic. Trevor closes the interview by thanking Dr. Fauci for his time and dedication. He acknowledges the difficulty of communicating scientific information during a global crisis. Dr. Foss reciprocates the appreciation and commends the role of media in spreading accurate information. Reflecting on the video, it becomes clear why the interview resonated with so many viewers. It blended clarity, compassion, and humor at a time when people desperately needed reliable guidance. The conversation offered both practical advice and emotional reassurance, making it memorable and impactful. In reviewing the video, it's important to highlight how Dr. Fauci's approach helped counteract panic. His calm explanations brought stability amid chaos. Trevor's role in translating public fears into questions amplified the effectiveness of the dialogue. Their communication styles complemented each other in a way that made the content both informative and engaging. The video also demonstrated the importance of accessible science communication. Dr. Foss avoided jargon and used relatable examples to illustrate his points. This approach helped people understand the situation without feeling overwhelmed. It set a standard for how experts could communicate complex topics during a crisis. Another reason the video stood out was its timing. It arrived when people were stuck at home, searching for answers. The social distancing show form allowed important information to reach audiences in an approachable setting. The virtual interview setup made the experience feel intimate and personal. It's clear that Trevor's genuine curiosity played a big role in grounding the discussion. His tone reflected both skepticism and concern, making him a relatable voice for viewers. He didn't shy away from asking tough questions, but he always framed them respectfully. Meanwhile, Dr. Fauci's steady voice delivered clarity. He didn't promise easy solutions and didn't exaggerate risks. His balanced approach gave people realistic expectations and encouraged responsible behavior. This combination made the interview one of the most widely shared conversations during the early pandemic. What makes the video especially powerful is how it helped bridge the gap between science and everyday life. Many people struggle to understand medical information, especially during a global crisis. Dr. Fauci's explanations simplified these ideas without losing accuracy. This helped reduce anxiety and empowered people with knowledge. Trevor's occasional humor also helped lighten the mood. It reminded viewers that even in difficult times, it's okay to seek moments of levity. Humor acted as a pressure release, making the conversation more digestible. The video also highlights the importance of trust during a public health emergency. Dr. Fauci's credibility was central to the message. His willingness to acknowledge uncertainties showed integrity. This honesty kept viewers engaged and willing to follow recommendations. When reviewing the interview now, it becomes a valuable reminder of how people came together during an uncertain time. It shows the importance of responsible communication and the role of experts in guiding the public. It also demonstrates the impact that accessible media platforms can have on society. The interview remains relevant as an example of science communication done well. Even though the world has moved forward, the principles discussed still matter. Public trust, accurate information, and clear communication remain essential pillars during any crisis. The dynamic between Trevor and Dr. Fauci is one of the strongest elements in the video. Trevor approaches the topic with humility, curiosity, and humor. Dr. Fauci responds with patience, clarity, and authority. This balance creates a conversation that feels both educational and comforting. The video also encourages people to take responsibility for their own behavior. Dr. Fauci's message about distancing, hygiene, and community awareness continues to hold value beyond the pandemic. It reminds viewers that simple actions can protect vulnerable people and strengthen society. Another takeaway from the video is the importance of adaptability. Dr. Fauci explains why guidelines evolve and how scientific knowledge grows over time. This insight helps viewers understand why changing recommendations are a normal part of scientific progress, not a sign of inconsistency. As we reflect on the interview, it becomes clear that the video provided more than just information. It offered reassurance, perspective, and a sense of unity. It demonstrated how clear communication can help guide people through uncertainty and reduce fear. The conversation between Trevor and Dr. Fauci remains a strong model of how media and science can work together. It shows how important it is to have trusted voices delivering accurate information. It also highlights how humor and humanity can make difficult topics easier to absorb. For anyone revisiting the video or hearing about it for the first time, this review serves as a reminder of the challenges the world faced and the importance of reliable communication during those moments. The interview stands as a piece of pandemic history, offering lessons that extend beyond the time it was recorded. Overall, the video succeeds because it brings clarity in confusion. Dr. Fauci's guidance, paired with Trevor's thoughtful questions, created a conversation that helped people feel informed and supported. The impact of that interview continues to be recognized today. Thank you for sticking around for this full exploration of the video. If you enjoyed this expanded breakdown and want more reviews or explanations like this, be sure to check back for future content.